بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل الحمد لله وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى الله خير أما تشركون أمن خلق السماوات والأرض وأنزل لكم من السماء ماء فأنبتنا به حدائق ذات بهجة ما كان لكم أن تنبتوا شجرها أإله مع الله بل هم قوم يعدلون.
Say, O Muhammad, praise be to God, for the destruction of the disbelievers of past communities, and peace be on his servants whom he has chosen. Is God, read Allahu, pronouncing both Hamzas, or by substituting an aleph for the second one, or by not pronouncing the second one but inserting an aleph between the one not pronounced and the other one or without such an insertion, better, for those who worship him, or the partners which they ascribe. Read either, Tushrikuna, you ascribe, or Yushrikuna, they ascribe, they being, the people of Mecca, the partners they ascribe, to him, in other words, are such gods better for those who worship them? Or he who created the heavens and the earth, and sends down for you water from the heaven, whereby we cause to grow. There is a shift here from third person to that of the first person, plural, splendid gardens. Hadaiq is the plural of Hadika, which is an enclosed garden, whose trees you could never cause to grow, because of you do not have the ability for it. Is there a God, Elohun, here and in the 7 instances in which it occurs, read by pronouncing both Hamzas, or by not pronouncing the second, inserting an aleph between the two in both cases, with God, who has helped him in all of this? In other words, there is no God with him. Nay, but they are a people who ascribe equals to him, who associate with God others.
أَمَّنْ جَعَلَ الْأَرْضَ قَرَارًا وَجَعَلَ خِلَالَهَا أنهارا وجعل لها رواسي وجعل بين البحرين حاجزا أإله مع الله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء ويجعلكم خلفاء الأرض أإله مع الله قليلا ما تذكرون.
Or he who made the earth an abode of stability, that does not constantly shake beneath the feet of its inhabitants, and made rivers to flow throughout it and set firm mountains for it, with which he fixed the earth in place, and set an isthmus between the two seas, between the sweet one and the salty one, the one not mixing with the other. Is there a God with God? Nay, but most of them have no knowledge of his oneness. Or he who answers the desperate one, the anguished person suffering harm, when he calls to him, and who removes his distress from him and from others, and makes you successors in the earth. The annexation, Khalafa al-Ardi, successors of the earth, has the same meaning as Phi, in Khalafa al-Ardi, successors in the earth, in other words, each generation succeeding the one before it. Is there a God with God? Little do you remember, little are you admonished. Read, Ma Tadhakaruna, do you remember? Or, read, Yadhakaruna, do they remember? Where, in both cases, the ta has been assimilated with the dal, the ma is extra, used, to make less what is already little.
أَمَّن يَهْدِيكُمْ فِي ظُلُمَاتِ الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ ومن يرسل الرياح نشرا بين يدي رحمته أإله مع الله تعالى الله عما يشركون أمن يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده ومن يرزقكم من السماء والأرض أإله مع الله قل هاتوا برهانكم إن كنتم صادقين قل لا يعلم من في السماوات والأرض الغيب إلا الله وما يشعرون أيان يبعثون.
Or he who guides you, shows you the way to your destinations, in the darkness of the land and the sea, by the stars at night, and by the various landmarks during the day, and who sends forth the winds as harbingers of his mercy, ahead of the rain. Is there a God with God? Exalted be God, high, above what others they associate with him. Or he who originates creation, in the wombs, from a sperm drop, then brings it back again, after death, as established by the proofs for this resurrection, even if you do not acknowledge it, and who provides for you from the heaven rain, and, from the earth, vegetation. Is there a God with God? In other words, none of the things mentioned is done by anyone other than God, and there is no God with him. Say, O Muhammad, produce your proof, your definitive argument, if you are truthful, about there being a God with me who has done any of the things mentioned.